Hey y'all, new show alert. This is my review of SWV and Xscape, the Queens of R&B. They could have definitely chose a better title than that for this great show, but I'll deal. I saw this after the Potomac reunion, and this was just a great palate cleanser. Y'all know I love my 90s. I love SWV. I love Xscape too. You know, Candy and them. I'm kidding. Candy, LaTocha, Tamika, and Tiny, I love y'all too. But this is my first time seeing SWV on a reality show. I missed the first one that they were on. I think it was on We. Was it? Or VH1? I don't know. But yeah, I really enjoyed this show. I definitely suggest y'all should give it a watch if y'all haven't. So let's get into it. So we open the episode in the Shonda Rhimes fashion, where we see in the future both groups, like they're performing their first show in Ontario. We see a little drama backstage, but then we rewind to 2 months earlier. We then get a background on Xscape, and you know, I know the background of Xscape. I know the background of SWV. We don't have to go through that. Both groups are letting us know how they started, their success, how they broke up. SWV was the first. They came out in 1991. Xscape came out 2 years later than them, 1993. What I thought was really funny, we're on SWV's reel, and they're asking Coco, well, what went wrong? She said the beginning. Really? Like the beginning, Coco? So I heard Coco was a handful, and I can't wait to see her throughout the season. We see her telling production that they hated me and I hated them. Her sisters. Oh yeah, I remember when Coco tried to go solo. I remember she had like a little bit of solo success. Like she was featured on the Men in Black song. They should have credited her in the title. I don't know why they didn't. But yeah, that was her. Oh, here come the Men in Black. Other than that, I mean, I think her solo album tanked, or did it even release? So now we see how both groups have reconciled and they're both back together. SWV, they said when Coco was ready to join again, like, you know, they had show after show. With Xscape, you know, we saw that documented on Bravo. They got back together, they were touring. They still had issues, but they were still performing together. Oh, so we see in Candy's confessional, she says in 2017, somebody tried to steal their life story and tried to sell it. So that's what started the communication between them. We got all eyes on you, Carlos King. She should have called his ass out. Nene Leaks! Look, Carlos King been ain't shit, but y'all can listen to his little podcast and Bravo recaps if y'all want to. So then we see how these two 90s girl groups got together, thanks to Versus. I was very excited to see this one. I mean, this is how I got the hoodie, because I was like, I gotta have it. I was team SWV, and like they said on here, they won the battle. No offense, Xscape, but you know, that's my group. That is my group. No offense to Xscape though. I mean, they did the damn thing, especially in the first half. But when SWV got up and Coco was finally into it, it was a done deal. So yeah, from the success of Versus, that's where the idea of having these two girl groups come together for a joint tour. And this is where the story begins. All right, so we're in Atlanta, Georgia. We're at the Candy Factory. Candy's in the studio making some beats. You hear the legs and hips and body. This is right around the time that blew up. And you know Candy, she will capitalize for a coin. We see Tiny stopping by, they having a kiki. In her confessional, she's just saying like how her and Candy met, how they've been friends throughout the years. I mean, we already know the success they had together with No Scrubs, of course. We see Tamika coming in to join the ladies. It looks like they're all on the same wavelength, they're getting along. But noticeably absent is LaTocha, aka The Problem. It's actually a little jarring seeing Candy and Tamika getting along because they hated each other at one point. Tiny is so country. Yeah, girl, how you doing? How you doing, girl? You got some snacks in here, girl? I'm hungry. Now, production, why y'all asking Tamika and Candy about the beef? They already settled that in that first Xscape show. Let's not go backwards. Now, when they asked this to Tamika, she said she don't even want to talk about it. They get the Candy and she just starts singing like a canary. See, what happened was she went on the radio. Candy the type, though, she'll forgive and never forget. So the topic of conversation amongst the ladies is LaTocha. Her and her sister aren't speaking because of a gig they had in Vegas. It seems like a pretty petty story. Like, Candy and Tamika, they were locked at their dressing room, but Tiny and LaTocha, they could get in. But what set the other ladies off is Tasha walked right past them and was like, well, that sucks for y'all, but I'm getting the hell out of here. So see y'all. And that's where the beef all began. So they're arguing via text. Tasha tells Tamika to kiss her ass. Then Tamika responds, well, if you had an ass to kiss. So Tasha took that as body shaming. It really sucks that most girl groups have a shelf life and the tiniest bit of things, it'll make them break up. I mean, I'm still upset about Danny Kane. Like, do the planets have to align? The 5 of those girls together, the money that they would make. I just wanted to highlight them real quick, but you know, I don't think they'll ever get back together. Anyway, they get on the topic of verses and SWV and the possibility of a tour. Candy, she want to make that coin. And it seemed like LaTocha is the only thing holding the group back. Hey, so now we went SWV rehearsing. So fine, so fine. You blow my mind with the things you do to me. They are getting it! Yes! Yes, Coco, their music is timeless. Like, I'm so into you. I play Downtown on the regular like it came out yesterday. 52 years old, I hear that. They better work. And they do 50 to 100 shows a year all over the world. You got people that can't even speak English but know their songs that came out 30 years ago. You hear that, young people? 30 years ago. Timeless music. So they're rehearsing together. I think this white man is their manager. They're talking business right now about the tour coming up. Well, the possible tour with them in Xscape. I mean, it's nice to see that SWV is like this right now because I couldn't handle both groups going at it. At least, you know, SWV, they're in sync. No pun intended. Side note, Taj is gorgeous. The face, like face card never decline, my God. Yeah, SWV don't even know what they're walking into with that Xscape drama. So next scene we're with LaTocha the Problem. She's hanging with her family. We get a little background on her, how she's been, what she's been up to. It looks like her husband, she's been with him since the Xscape days. He's also the problem. He's her manager, and she doesn't say this yet, but I'm sure we're gonna find that out later. So LaTocha's talking to her husband and son about the possible tour with SWV coming up, but she says she needs to be in the right frame of mind to do the tour. Like, she doesn't want any toxicity. She's beefing with her sister. She says she hasn't spoke to her since the Lover and Friends tour in Vegas. She's wondering how can she perform with somebody that she's not even speaking with? Because of 2 things, the coin and the culture. This is bigger than y'all. You know, like, can you put that petty shit to the side? And that's your sister. Like, make it right. Y'all too grown for this. Y'all aunties now. So next scene we're with Tiny and her family. It looks like I'm watching the VH1 show because everybody is in that house. I don't think T.I. is going to make an appearance on this show, but I mean, it ain't like he got anything going on right now. And y'all know I do not see it for T.I. these days. So the less I see of him, the better. So we get a little background on Tiny and her family. She has 7 kids. 7. Wow. All out of her vagina. 7 kids? Shit. Correct me if I'm wrong though, she has 2 kids from a previous relationship and 5 kids from T.I., right? Oh, her daughter is so cute. And now she get to talking about T.I. Fast forward. Wow, Tiny's house is huge. I mean, why wouldn't it be? I mean, I'm sure they got coin. I'm assuming they won't be talking about any allegations on this show. So now we're with Tamika. We're getting a little background on her. She's talking to her husband, who looks like a linebacker, but he's actually a bodyguard for multiple artists, and that's actually how they met. They have 3 kids together. She's talking about how she's still beefing with her sister, and there's an upcoming meeting that she's going to see her for the first time since Vegas. It seems like she's willing to reconcile with her sister for the sake of the group and the bigger picture overall. And yes, y'all are closer to 50 than 30, so get it together. And actually, I wouldn't mind hearing y'all sing You're My Little Secret at 60. I'd be here for it. So next scene we're with Taj from SWV. She's coordinating this meeting between SWV and Xscape to talk business. Oh, so we learned from Taj in her confessional that SWV and Xscape, they've been met each other. Like, they had a camaraderie. It wasn't like a rival or anything. Even though they came out 2 years after them, they still held each other down. And it looks like some of them are still friends to this day. So most of the ladies are arriving. Here comes LaTocha. I mean, she is dressed to the nines. She looks good. When she enters, I mean, she gives Taj a hug. I mean, she says, "Hey, Candy. Hey, Tiny." Child. We cut to Candy's confessional. She says, her and Tasha, they're like oil and water. And it looks like they never got along. Wow, they really don't fuck with each other outside the group. That is just so crazy to me. Tasha is serving the cold shoulder to everybody. So Tamika arrives, and I'm guessing Taj didn't know that there was friction in Xscape, because the way she laid it out, SWV is on one side, Xscape is on the other, and Tamika sits right next to Tasha, and it's awkward. They don't even hug each other, and it looks like Tamika, at least she spoke. Taj is like, "Hey girl." They keep it cute though, at least. All right, so the remaining ladies from Sister with Voices arrive, and they finally get this meeting started. So the ladies are all discussing what they want to see for the tour. It looks like most of them are excited for this. I love Tamika in her confessional bigging up Taj, like saying that she was a fan of SWV. And Taj had her little solo on Use Your Heart. She was like, "You better sing, girl." It's just nice to see that camaraderie, especially between talented black females. And it's not like a rivalry. And I'm really glad this show didn't set it up like that. Now you see everybody excited about this, and then here go Tasha, the problem, with a stank face on. Like, the other ladies can feel this negative energy that she's emitting throughout the room, and they finally ask her, "Girl, what's going on?" Tasha's like, "Oh, I'm cool. I just have reservations, that's all." Oh, here we go. It always gotta be one person. One person. Now, it gotta be something deeper than what happened in Vegas. It has to be. But she says she's not excited. She has reservations because there are internal issues going on in the group. Girl, you are the internal issue. And look at Candy's face. She's just like... Even Coco's face. Like, Coco looked like she here for the mess. Damn, Candy looked like she itching to say something, but she gonna stay out of it, which she should. Yes, Taj, look at the bigger picture. They are still together. Whatever they are going through, it can't be that bad. Tasha said it's about peace and communication at the end of the day. Coco then interjects, "We don't communicate either. We just get on stage and do what we do and get that coin." I hear that. Coco is so real. She is my favorite so far. She's like, "I promise you." Now, Coco, that is the original problem. I'm glad she got over it and finally saw the bigger picture. Ladies, again, two things, the coin and the culture. Make it work. Oh, LaTocha's just getting on my nerves. She takes herself way too damn seriously. SWV just looking at Xscape like, been there, done that. Tiny's trying to keep the peace and says, "We can work through this and then we can all go on tour." LaTocha stops her immediately and says, "Well, all of us might not feel that way. I might not want to go on tour." Child, I would be like, we could do this with you or without you. And as we could see, they did it without her. I agree with Taj. It seemed like Taj don't even want to move forward or try to resolve the situation. Most of the ladies are talking about solidarity and trying to move on, but with LaTocha, it's going in one ear and out the other. You better preach, Lily, preach. She's preaching the word right now. You can tell SWV as a group has already gone through hell and back and has been through the petty shit that Xscape is currently going through. Wow, did she actually get a smile out of Tasha? Maybe there's a microscopic chance of hope with her. So it looks like this meeting ends on an optimistic note. And by the way, that food does not look good. Just wanted to point that out. Next scene, we see the ladies of SWV flying to South Africa for a private gig that they were flew out for, a 6.5-figure deal. I hear that. Wow, for a 50th birthday party for some rich guy. That's all they knew. Hey, you're the one for me, and you need... Okay, I can't do all that. So next scene, we're with Candy and the gang. Well, her family. We already know Candy's background. Real Housewives of Atlanta is coming up in May. But let's just see what Candy has to say. I mean, she ain't new to this. This is her, what, her 8th show on Bravo? So she's just talking to Todd, just saying how her group needs to get it together. I mean, it seems like they're never on the same page. Like, there's always an internal issue. And here come the flashbacks. I'm thinking this is from the first Xscape show. Like, they were just arguing with each other. You know, I actually agree with Todd. Like, they really need group therapy. Something. So next scene, we're with the two sisters of Xscape. They're going over by their mom's house to talk their issues out. So how this happened was, I'm guessing LaTocha talking to her mom about what's going on with her sister. Her mom wants the two of the girls to get along, which is great. But then we hear from Tamika, and she's saying that, you know, she loves her mom, but when it comes to her mom and her sister is her mom's favorite. So she's going over there with her daughter. LaTocha's already there. And already when Tamika walks into the door, we get a different energy from LaTocha. She's not being standoffish. She actually tells Tamika to give her a hug. "You're my sister." Where did that come from? Like, I'm with Tamika on this. Like, wait, what? Because that's not the same energy you had when they had their meeting with SWV. She doing this because her mom right there. Ooh, and messy production with the flashback showing Tasha acting different. Damn, so they sitting down talking and it's not starting out good. It looks like their mom is already holding Tamika accountable for the disagreement. Yeah, you can already see the mom is on Tasha's side. Tamika called it. Tamika saying that the roles were reversed and her sister was locked out, she would have stood by her. But then LaTocha has nothing to say to that. She brings up how Tamika body shamed her from one sentence of her saying that you don't have an ass to kiss. We cut to LaTocha's confessional, and of course there was a deeper meaning about why she was upset. She said she took Tamika's comment to heart because she's always struggled with insecurities dealing with her body, even in the Xscape days where she was identified as the big girl rather than her name, LaTocha. Now, I think if she just told her sister that, like really had a serious grown conversation, like you grew up with her. I don't get how she could let that compromise their relationship, but I hope they got past that present day. Then again, the group is performing as a threesome, so I guess not. The mom isn't doing a good job moderating this. Like, it seems like she just keeps holding Tamika accountable, telling her like it doesn't matter, like dismissing her feelings. And then her sister, LaTocha, just told her, "Oh, we're family, we can't help that." I would have been like, "Excuse me, bitch? If my brother told me that?" Oh my God. It sucks that they got a fight like this in front of Tamika's daughter, but she grown, so it's fine, I guess. From this scene, it looks like the mama needs to go to therapy with her daughters as well. Ooh, and now this conversation has officially gone left. So Tamika calls out her mom for always being on her sister's side and says she never stands up for her. Her mom says she does, and Tamika says not against Tasha. Remember when she stole my money, you didn't say nothing? And even in that moment, her mom didn't say anything. So now Tamika is hot. She stands up. We see the daughter get up too to, like, you know, calm her mom down. This scene is heavily edited because we see the mom getting up. I hope they don't fight in front of the cameras. We cut to Tamika's confessional and she's saying there were some royalty checks that she found out from Tiny that she earned. She did some investigating and she found out that her checks were deposited in her sister's husband's account. The other problem. She says the amount of money was over $30,000. Now, Tamika is a saint if she knew all this and continued to be in Xscape with her sister. Now, that's a reason not to show up. That's an internal issue. But we get back to the argument and tensions are high. She's yelling at her mom at this point. LaTocha's saying that that's not true. Tamika has a look of shock on her face, like she can't believe her sister is lying to her. She says, "You know I have the evidence, right? You want to go to jail?" Her mom hears this and she looks dead into the cameras and says, "Get out. Get out. Cut the cameras off. Dead ass. Cut the cameras." We then can hear Tamika in the background saying, "Oh, you want to cut the cameras off now?" And that is where the episode ends. What a great premiere. When I tell you this was a palate cleanser for the toxicity that we sat through for an hour and a half, I enjoyed this. Bravo, ladies. This was really good. I'm going to enjoy this 8-episode season. I can't wait to see the next episode. I am totally on Tamika's side. I believe her. Her sister probably stole her money, or maybe her sister's husband, and she's standing up for him. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. This was such a breath of fresh air to do compared to my last review. With that, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next episode. Bye.